The tree equity score is a nationwide neighbourhood level score that ranges from 0 to 100, and it measures inequitable access to urban trees. It's calculated from urban tree canopy cover, health, climate, and socioeconomic data. And the lower the tree equity score, the greater the priority for increasing urban tree cover. So you can look at all of the tree equity scores for LSOAs, lower super output areas, or neighbourhoods in your research area. And a good starting place is to look at places that have a tree equity score of lower than 75. And that's because 75 is somewhere between the high and moderate categories within the tree equity score. So a good starting place for prioritising and thinking about where urban trees would make the biggest difference. So the Tree Equity Score website lets you find out where those LSOAs are, look at all of the LSOAs that have a score of less than 75, what it would take to get all the LSOAs in your area up to a score of 75, and what the annual ecosystem service value of doing that would be. So all that information is freely available online in the Tree Equity Score UK website. I'm going to demonstrate that for you now. So the URL is uk.treeequityscore.org. This is the Tree Equity Score website. If you scroll down, you'll see there's some background information here communicating how the tool works, and further down details on some of the background and the methodology. Let's go back up to the top and into the tool itself. So click on Find Your Tree Equity Score, and you'll see a map of the UK. The score covers the green areas on the map, these urban areas only. And I'm going to look, and you can zoom in or use the search bar. So I'm going to look at the city of Gloucester as my research area. So initially you see a local authority composite tree equity score. I'm going to zoom into Gloucester now. Let's move the map a bit. So each of these lower super output areas, LSOAs, has a tree equity score ranging from 0 to 100. The lower the tree equity score, the greater the priority for increasing urban tree canopy cover. And the darker orange areas are the higher priority areas. So for each of these LSOAs, the tool has information on current canopy cover, status in terms of its priority, and then data on income, health, employment, age, heat disparity, that's surface temperature during a heat wave, and air pollution. And really the tree equity score is a composite measure of the benefit of urban trees and inequitable access to those benefits based on all that data. So the tool has an inbuilt reporting feature that you can use to get an overview for your research area. So firstly, you click on the LSOA, we've done that here. Then dynamic reports, select the report you want. Let's look at the local authority for Gloucester. And here's a basic online report that summarises some of the information in the tool and then visually represents data on tree canopy cover, some of the indicators, and then the distribution of tree equity scores by the priority statuses of high down to none. You can sort of see how many LSOAs fit into each of those categories. Let's go further down and we can do the task that I outlined at the beginning, which is to look at all of those LSOAs in your research area that have a tree equity score of lower than 75 and what it would take to get those up to a score of 75. So the tool starts by showing this bar, which we can adjust. You'll see those numbers start to change. So we're saying we want to get all of the LSOAs in Gloucester up to a score of 75 or above. And at the moment, 27 of the 82 LSOAs in Gloucester have a tree equity score of lower than 75. So if we get all of those 27 up to a score of 75, it would require increasing tree canopy cover in Gloucester by 2%. That's equivalent to 649,692 square metres of canopy expansion, planting and managing trees. And that's equivalent to 11,500 medium-sized trees. The formula and calculations on trees and their ecosystem services come from iTree. And the annual ecosystem service value of increasing canopy cover and getting all those LSOAs to a tree equity score of 75 is just over £200,000 annually. So the tool usefully has these question marks with little hovers, which tells you more about the calculations. So you can have a look at those when you explore the tool. The report also summarises that ecosystem service benefit data and provides a tree equity map, which is really showing you the prioritisation. So where in your research area, in this case the city of Gloucester, are the priority places for increasing urban tree canopy cover. So finally, you can share this, we can save the report as a PDF or share it as a link. So let's close that report, come back to the website, just show you one final thing. So down at the bottom of the home page, you can download the data either as an Excel file or GIS shape files, which will enable you to put those into your own local mapping systems. So we hope you find it useful. That's the Tree Equity Score UK.